Hello and welcome everyone to the S21 SSL Prospect Draft. My name is Canada's the Commissioner, and I'm joined today with or by Summerstude.
Hello there, folks. Uh,
We're going to be taking you with us along the ride here through all of the picks that was made during this past week in the offline portion of this prospect draft. We will hopefully be joined by one other commentary member later today. We'll see if that happens or not, but hopefully we'll get some more people here to talk as well. You might see some trades happening today. They will be presented separately, which means that the pick tracker that is shown on the screen right now might not be the picks that you've seen on the forum as we announce the trades that happened during the draft in this live draft show. We will go through all of the rounds, round 1, 2, how many rounds we need, and get through all of the picks made by all of the teams. We have manager notes ready with that Summerstude will be presenting, and then we'll kind of round off or round up each round when we get to the last picks there. But without further ado, I think we can go ahead and make or announce the first overall selection here. And first overall, we see Hollywood FC picking from Atletico Medellin, Maverick Jones, the user Thunder39.
Great way to start the this season's draft. Let me just go through the manager notes of what the Hollywood organization's manager has written about drafting Maverick here. So, first pick means best prospect. Thunder is one of the kindest, most helpful people I've ever had the pleasure in meeting in sim leagues. He's at a position of need for us. Rest in peace, Hall of Famer Dexter Hall. And he's a season 1 Hollywood alumnus. It's not often that you get a BPA pick, a positional need pick, and a legacy pick all in one. Layup. So here we go. The first pick of this draft, Hollywood FC Maverick Jones.
And with the second overall selection, we have Shanghai Dragons FC picking up from Victoria Falls, Ali Bunsen, the user BV.
A deserved second rounder, if I may say so. I mean, they've been active in the Discord server. I mean, they've been quite active. And the score bunny from Postwick is the second overall in this draft. So going through the manager notes here, right. It's the year of rabbit in Shanghai. The team staff was unanimous about the case of Little Bunsen and sees in her the future of our franchise at the right back to replace Ken in the future. Welcome home, BB.
And Shanghai also gets the third overall selection. And they select from Stockholm's IK Petter Lind, the user me, Canades.
Congratulations on getting the third overall pick, Commissioner.
Thank you.
So, so here is the prodigy son of the great Henrik Lind, who begins his career where his father ended it. Perhaps it is the advent of a family success story for the Swedes that sees a new talented central defender appear in their footballing sphere. Welcome back, Canadies, says Shanghai's organizational manager. Good on you.
With 4 overall, we have Tokyo SC or Tokyo Sports Club making their first selection. And they select From Sydney City, Daniel Herrera, the user Fritjof.
So, right. Frith is someone I've had the pleasure of getting to know a little more over the past few months since he's taken on some new jobs in the SHL. We've both been around for a long time now, but have talked a little more lately. And when we first talked about him joining the SSL, he mentioned that he plays a lot of FM. As a new manager who's always leaned into people skills, I was very much looking for some tactics help. And when you can draft someone who checks the box as well as being a lot of fun to talk to and who's highly recommended by the members of your team, it's a slam dunk. So those were indeed the words of Tokyo's newly minted OM.
At 5 overall, we have Club Atletico Buenos Aires selecting from Victoria Falls, Roy Rivers, the user Roy Rivers.
In from Kappa organizational manager now. Excited to bring in such a positive force in sim leagues. I first met Roy in Bondi Beach, and he lights up any locker room I've seen him in. Can't wait to get him on pitch and see what he can bring at an eye. A deserved fifth round. I mean, all the picks so far have been pretty much, I mean, very active in the Discord server and pretty deserved picks, if I say so.
At 6 overall, AC Romana selects from Stockholms Idrottsklubb, Blackleg Sanji, the user DigDug11.
So in from Romana's manager now. Big Dog, also known as Blackleg Sanji, was one of the prospects we had already invited to our locker room. He was a very enjoyable presence, which is why we decided to make him our first draftee. We hope to see him have an amazing future here at AC Romana and Inter London.
And we've reached the halfway point now of the first round. We have 10 organizations, but we have 12 picks in the first, second, and third round on account of compensatory picks from the last expansion when the expansion organizations picked someone who had retired. So we gave them compensatory picks in between these two rounds, and they count towards the round. So we're halfway through. At 7 overall, we have Hollywood making their second selection in the draft, and they select from Victoria Falls, Tommy Moff, the user Mooty99.
And from Hollywood's organizational manager. Now, this one might have been a little bit of a reach. He's old, English, and called me stinky during scouting. But I also might be in love with him. So I was forced to spend a first round pick on this unrequited love. Welcome to the bright lights. My love. T. Well, this was some message from the organizational manager here.
Sounds
Really
like the
excited to drop this line.
scouting message or scouting conversations went very well there. We have at 8 overall Schwarzwälder Fußballverein making their first pick in this draft, and they select from Sydney City, Corey Mizukana, the user Corey Mizu.
So, right. We came in focused on rounding out our back end, and Corey really impressed during scouting. Coming off an academy title, Corey has the foundations of a strong central player who can do the defensive work and then jumpstart our playmaking.
At 9th overall, we have the SSL Cup winners, União Sao Paulo, making a selection, and they select from Victoria Falls, Chicken McTendy, the user Null15736.
And from Sao Paulo here, uh, right, got our top target at 9 overall. What an absolute steal. we needed a GK goalkeeper for people who don't know, and pretty much everyone in the war room loves Noel. Feels weird drafting a rival DSFL GM for the second season in a row, but maybe this one will be nicer to me than Dunkler. I mean, I mean, I too am a part of this war room, and definitely everyone in our war room jumped at the opportunity of drafting Noel here. Oh, I mean, definitely agree with the manager's comment that this was an absolute steal. Welcome home.
And it's another foul creature coming into the SSL with joining Furious Chicken, Beak the Eilish, and a bunch of other birds we've had in the previous draft classes. Rounding out the original pick selection here of the first round, we have CF Catalunya. And they select at 10 overall from Atletico Medellin, Carolina Salazar, the user Renomitsu.
Words from the Catalonia OM. Recreate that our war room felt comfortable with and also fills a positional lead. We are very excited about this prospect.
And with 11 overall, Shanghai Dragons making their third selection in this draft. Pick up from Sydney City, Snore Lax, the user Gams.
Well, Cams has been an excellent member of the community since the very moment he joined. We are incredibly lucky to now have him to be a part of our locker room and contribute to our ever increasing Pokemon collection. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, isn't this the second Snorlax we are encountering in? I mean, since the last season. I mean, even in our batch, I think we had one Snorlax,
Yes, there
Ronflex.
was Ronflex. Yes, that's the one. I was missing the name, but yes, Ronflex is also a Snorlax variant. So yes, lots of Pokemon as well coming into the league at this point in time. Okay, we have the final selection of the first round, and it is the other expansion team, Club Deportivo Tenochtitlan, that is coming in with their selection at 12 overall. They select, also from Sydney City, Sandro da Silva, the user Gucci.
Words from the CDTOM here. Sandro da Silva was the key piece in what enabled Sydney City to lift the Academy Shield. Has shown to be an exemplary user, a chill guy with quick wit and great activity. He fits the vibe of our locker room, and we are excited to welcome him in.
And that rounds out the first round of selections. We have the draft board, if I can just get my buttons right here. It should be the one. Yes, here we see the overall look of the first round. Do you have any thoughts about this summary, this selection?
Well, on first look, right? I mean, it is pretty interesting to see all the three goalkeepers. I mean, getting drafted in the first round itself. Generally, goalkeeper is a position which I've seen. I mean, gets moved over to second and third rounds. From what I've seen in my and discussed in our locker rooms and stuff. But I mean, three goalkeepers here have been drafted in this first round itself, and that is a pretty interesting observation,
Yeah,
I may say so.
definitely. I mean, the goalkeepers is one of the more restrictive positions in terms of availability, is we only have 20 teams and there can only essentially be one starting goalkeeper for each of those teams. So having these three goalkeepers coming in the first round, either the organization saw that, oh, there was a goalkeeper going first overall, we really need to get our pick if we want them early. um, or it was just a good enough user experience here in the scouting that they wanted to pull the trigger on the keepers here as early as they did. Usually, it's a lot of central defenders that go early, um, but to be fair, this class I think there's only 4, maybe not even 4 central defenders in total. So a lack of central defenders overall as well here.
Definitely agree with you there.
Okay, before we move on to the second round, we have a trade to announce. And there is a trade for the 13th overall selection, the next selection in this draft. And it is between AC Romana and Reykjavik United, where we see Reykjavik receiving the Catalunya S21 second, which is the 13th overall pick, and Romana receiving Shanghai's second round pick, 14th overall, and Reykjavik's fourth round pick, 46 overall. So Romana essentially gaining a pick for moving back a spot, which is quite good in terms of the value generated from just moving back a spot. So Reykjavik maybe felt that Romana was eager to make their pick or to steal, but Reykjavik then selects from Atletico Medellin, Kelsier Summers, the user Luna Ripcole.
Well, Cole is my DSFL GM, so good luck on this one. So, yes, our chats with Summers confirmed exactly what we were looking for. Someone who could come in and help continue to shape the culture within our club. We are ecstatic to bring this player in. I mean, this is top guy. I mean, from what I have interacted with him, and I mean, it makes sense moving one spot up to snatch him up as quickly as possible. Um,
And now with the 14th overall selection that Romana uh, traded back to, they select from Sydney City Brannigan Stoosh, the user Zag.
Words from the Romana organizational manager here. Brannigan Stoosh is a man of grit, and his sole goal is to see ball, see opponent, and tackle one, if not both of them. Piloted by Zag, we are ready to take control of games and energize our team on the pitch and in the locker room.
Tackling both the ball and the player. Yeah, if you get the ball first, that's perfectly fine. At 15th overall, we have Tenochtitlan coming back in with their second selection in this draft, and they select from Victoria Falls Eagles, Mazid Al Kazmi, the user Afrite.
Mazid Al Kazmi is a dynamo on and off the pitch. Great energy and someone our organization had conversations with throughout the season. Ecstatic to bring Afrite into our squad. I mean, definitely agree with the words of the Tenochtitlan manager here. I mean, from our conversations which I had with Afrite over in Discord, I mean, very cool guy and a deserved second round pick. Welcome to Tenochtitlan. Is all I would say to him.
At 16 overall, we have Tokyo SC picking up from Stockholms idrottsklubb Lia Slothison, the user Reno.
So, Reno is one of my favorite people in sim leagues. He's kind, supportive, loyal, funny, and he's definitely cringing if he's listening to this because he hates it when people say nice things about him. Well, suck it up, Reno. You're an awesome person, and we are thrilled to have you back. When we talked He sounded really excited by the possibility of coming back to Tokyo, and I considered trading up to try and grab him earlier. So when he was still there at our second round pick, it was a no brainer for me. And just to know, folks, suck it up, Reno. I mean, that was highlighted pretty much. I mean, that pretty much, I mean, exemplifies how much the Tokyo organization values Reno here. So you would be up to, I mean, you would definitely be joining a worthy organization who's clearly excited to snatch you up in the second round itself. So welcome to Tokyo, Reno.
Buenos Aires is the next with the 17th overall selection, and they select from Atletico Medellin Frosty Steel, the user JSteel14.
So yes, uh, I feel like we've got a steal here. Hue. So far,
Jesus Christ.
that was enough. Yes, and that is all written. I've known Steele for a long time. Was a great locker room presence in the NBB for many seasons. Hoping to teach them a little bit more about the sport too.
And NBB, that is reference to the SMJHL team, Nevada, I think, Nevada Battleborn. There's a lot of interleague information here thrown about. So if you're worried about abbreviations in one league, yeah, there are like 4 more that you're going to see uh, references to in the SSL during all of this time. Right, back at it with Romana with a double pick, back-to-back picks here at 18 and 19. First, Romana picks up at 18 overall from Stockholm's Idrottsklubb, Stefan Lichtsteiner, the user Anix.
Words from the Romana management here. Anix is a Sim League veteran and a stellar human being. His last player, Rednik Lavert, was a long-time AC Romana standout, and we jumped at the opportunity to bring him back with Stefan Lichtsteiner. And folks, extremely sorry if I mispronounce your name. And if I do in the, I mean, just ping in the SSL chat itself how exactly to pronounce your name. So there you go.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of names here that for the commentary team as a whole, I think some might be wanting a pronunciation guide. It's not a lot. It's not the same um, severity as it was last season, last draft class. There were a lot of names with accents and stuff like that. But definitely, if you hear one of us mispronounce your name, just do correct us. We won't take any offense to that. The learning experience, definitely. And with their second pick here, Romana selects from Stockholm's Idrottsklubb again, Ice in the Veins, Jeffy 43.
Following the selection of Lichtsteiner, his partner in crime, Ice in the Veins, is the next on the podium to be introduced to the Romana faithful. Jeffy is a fun-loving goof who will contribute to the vibes in a variety of ways.
And for some of you who did not or who just realized what Jeffy's player name was in reference to, yes, Ice in the Veins or Ice in the Veins. Definitely a tongue twister there if you want to say it, or realize now what it means. You can't say it any other way. 20 overall has Schwarzwälder coming back on the board, and they select from Sydney City Tom Madison, their assistant manager, user Tom Tommen.
Tom has been with Montreal since before the merge. He ran tactics for our S19 minors title, so he'll remain an integral part of our organization both on and off the field. Welcome back, Tom.
And this is, or no, this was not an automatic selection because as assistant managers are usually automatically selected with their organization's second round pick or earliest second round pick if they have been an assistant manager for longer than 3 seasons, which was not the case here. So Schwarzfelder picked up Tom with their second round pick nonetheless. Moving on to pick number 21, we have União Sao Paulo coming back on the board, and they select from Sydney City Samson Okoro, the user SG Vesu.
Words from our organizational manager here. Uh, had a great pre-scouting convo with Vesu in the CAR locker room about team tactics, and when they were suddenly somehow completely available at 21 overall, I had to get a scout looking into him. And luckily, Saba answered the call and gave me one of these greatest scouting reports of all time, which was lock him in. Can't get this nerd get into enemy hands. Welcome to the team, Vesu. We are ecstatic to bring you in. And I completely agree with it. I mean, we were looking for folks at 21 overall, at least when Vesu was available. I luckily, it was a great conversation in our locker room, I mean, war room. And welcome home, Vesu. Welcome to Sao Paulo.
Catalunya making their 22nd overall selection, and they select from Atletico Medellin Anthony Simmons, the user Starchy Chaff.
So, the message from the Catalonia OM here. Solid user also fills a positional need. We felt that they had a really good floor with a high ceiling.
And then we have some compensatory picks here with Shanghai and Tenochtitlan. First up is Shanghai at 23 overall, and they select from Sydney City Disappointment, the user Vichy.
What a name again. Coming from the distant league called MLN, which he will be keen to prove himself on the front of the Hungarian attack and become a trademark of the league. Welcome, amigo. I mean,
And Tenochtitlan at 24 overall select from Atletico Medellin Matt Stroh, the user Matt Stroh.
Matt Stroh claims to like raw potatoes, and I can't let a man as dangerous as that to go free. Matt Stroh will incite chaos for Krungtep, and we are happy to have him join us.
Raw potatoes. I don't know what that has to do with any scouting conversation, but okay, yeah, that's a good enough reason to pick anyone, I assume. And
I
that
mean,
concludes
there,
the second round here. Sorry, I cut you off. What did you want to say?
no, no, there is always a method to the madness. I mean,
Yes,
if Krungtep
definitely,
has been overperforming last, I mean, definitely were overperforming last season. So I guess this
definitely.
mm,
Um, and
shows.
that concludes the second round here. We have a draft board overview here with all of the selections. And is there anything that stands out to you so far?
I mean, most of the second round picks this time have been midfielders again. I mean, there's only one striker and I guess three more defenders.
Yeah. Yeah, this was
Most of
definitely
these,
a midfield heavy class in terms of where the users or where the players are playing positionally. Um, so it just if all of the goalkeepers and the central defenders are picked in the first round or later, it just probably just happens that all of the midfielders are left here, and then it's just a scramble to get the person or the user that you want to get.
Agreed.
And once again, before we move into the next round, we have a trade to announce for 25 overall. And that trade looks like. No, that's the first trade we had. This is the second trade, yes. It is between Reykjavik and Catalunya. Reykjavik receives the 25th overall selection from Catalunya, the Catalunya's S21 third, in exchange for Reykjavik's S21 third, which is 34 overall, and an additional Reykjavik S22 fourth round selection. So another team picking up 2 picks in exchange for 1 here, with Reykjavik as the team moving on up. I forgot to mention this actually when Reykjavik made their first selection at the 13 overall. They are the league champions of the major league here. So they had. Oh no, that wasn't even their original pick. So they had traded away their original pick, so that wasn't even in the case. But yes, they are the major league champions from last season. I mentioned União Sao Paulo, so I thought it would be decent enough to mention Reykjavik as well. So Reykjavik now owns 25 overall. And with that selection, they select from Victoria Falls Zaza Banana, the user Master Sheep.
Zaza, the user master sheep, has been a mainstay within Reykjavik for a very long time. And we are extremely happy that we are able to bring his recreate back to our club for another round.
At 26 overall and 27, we have Club Deportivo Tenochtitlan. And they select at first at 26 overall from Victoria Falls, Diego Machado, the user Voltage Fusion.
Diego brings some Portuguese attacking flair to the side, known for an eye for a goal involvement. Originally from Canada, this young gun will be like a dog with a bone. With his off the chart work rate, he is more than happy to help out in both attack and defense.
And with the 27th overall selection, Tenochtitlan selects from Sydney City, Owain Roberts, the user OE2890.
Okay. Another member of the Sydney Academy champion side that looked so impressive, the Welsh Wizard came up clutch in some key moments throughout the season. He will be one of the big personalities in the dressing room with the spotty dog Michael Owen impression. Let's hope he follows in Giggs and Bale's path.
At 28 overall, we have Tokyo Sport Club, and they select from Sydney City as well, Peruer Snezhevna, the user Anna Necromancer Ass.
Scouting first gen users is one of the great joys of sim leagues, and honestly, it never gets old for me. This was a pretty fun one. It's not every day a prospect asks me about my crocheting and we get to share our creative creations. Side note, very cool drawings. And I'm excited to bring another new user into the locker room. Was the words of the Tokyo's organizational manager here.
We have Buenos Aires at 29 overall, and they select from Stockholms Idrottsklubb Christoph Schweinsteiger, the user TubbyTim69.
I'm very happy to I beg your pardon. I'm very happy to get Christoph here. Just feels like an all-round good player. He is happy to play anywhere and will be a good fit in the locker room. If I can get an American football chat going to let him gush about Jaden Daniels or a hockey chat for his Jets.
We have another back-to-back pick now with Romana, and they select at 30 overall from Stockholms Idrottsklubb Jesper Sjöman, the user Ashes.
Jesper is, among many things, a showman and a hard-working midfielder with an eye for a goal. Piloted by Ashes, we hope for big things from this attacking midfielder. Is the Romana management.
That was a good pun there. A showman, but a Sjöman. Yeah, that was fun. So Romana coming back on the board at 31 here. They select from Atletico Medellin Pope Francis, the user Maxboy.
Hope goes after Romana. Great. So there is no better place for Pope Francis than to land in AC Romana. News of his death has been greatly exaggerated as he looks lively on the pitch and will bring some great passion from his Atletico Medellin academy campaign.
I forgot to mention that there was a trade here in between that resulted in Romana getting the 31st overall selection. And that trade looked like this. No, wait. Like this. Where Romana and Hollywood made a trade. So Romana acquired the 31st overall selection from Hollywood in exchange for the additional or alongside Hollywood S22 fourth round selection in exchange for the AC Romana S22 third round selection. So that made Romana the pick at number 32. No, 31, sorry. And then we have at number 32, Shanghai Dragons on the board again. And they select from Victoria Falls, David Doug II, the user, the Sparky D.
Have you ever been hired on the spot? That's what happened to Sparky D after a series of questions about the public lounge on the raft. We have high hopes for this leader and founder of Capstart to lead Magyar to success. Welcome, Sparky D.
And then we have Romana again at pick number 33. So Shanghai just made it here inside the 4-pick selection or the 4-pick group here. So Romana selects from Stockholms Idrottsklubb Stun Gun Jr., the user Unconfident.
Tangan Jr. is a revolutionary technological phenomenon. We couldn't resist the opportunity to draft Ankh and look forward to his contributions.
At pick number 34, we have our first pass of this season's draft. A pass is essentially where an organization has determined that they are done picking, which means that they are either full in terms of what is happening here in their organizations and cannot essentially sign any more people. They go over the roster requirement, or that the people that they would sign would not get that much playing time. So at pick 34, we have a pass, which means the next pick is pick 35. And that is Shanghai Dragons on the board again. And they select from Stockholms Idrottsklubb Joe Martin, the user Supernami.
Supernami is one of the biggest steals in this entire draft. A great person who's always ready with a witty remark. He will be the beating heart for an exceptionally talented Magyar side, both in and outside the pitch.
And we have Tenochtitlan coming in with their 36th overall selection. And they select from Victoria Falls Peter Apostle, the user The Pope.
Peter Apostle is a man of refined tastes and conviction. The user piloting him, Pope Goose, is similarly classy and can be counted out for a clever quip at a moment's notice. We hope to complement positive vibes with miracles from above.
Pick number 37 and 38 are also passes. So the next pick we have is at pick number 39. And it's Tenochtitlan again. And they select from Sydney City, Dave Oliver, the user Lubotti.
Lubotti and his player Dave Oliver played a, played a role in Sydney's late charge to secure the Academy Shield. This marks the third player that Tenochtitlan has taken from the Academy champions this draft class.
Tokyo making their, I think, fourth selection in this draft, and they select at 40 overall from Sydney City, Juan Rodriguez, the user Daldar.
We didn't get a chance to talk too in depth with Daldar before making this pick, but I knew that they were active, had responded to my greetings, and seemed cool from our brief interactions since they are a prospect on my SHL team as well. While we haven't talked much, every interaction I've had with them so far has been very nice, and I look forward to getting to know them a little better in Tokyo. Were the words from the Tokyo's poem here regarding Juan Rodriguez.
Buenos Aires at 41 overall selects from Atletico Medellin, Chris Papapoulos, the user Tanman Superman 69.
What a username there. Right. Uh, Took a stab here to try and round out the organization. Haven't got a chance to talk to them, but hoping they return. For the words from the Baba management regarding Ant-Man Superman 69.
And then at pick number 42, we have Romana, and they select from Atletico Medellin, Academic Victim, the user Hetaksh03.
We've been getting some great player names across over here since last season. So right. Academic Victim is our second player whom possesses internal circuitry instead of blood circulation and a motherboard instead of an actual mother. Holy shit. We were inspired by Bionicles and hope this move pays off.
And then we have only a few picks remaining. We have a couple of passes until we hit pick number 56, and that is Reykjavik United making their selection. And after this pick, we're actually going to have a trade for this picked player, which I will announce after. Pick number 56, we have Reykjavik United selecting Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame, the user Valor X77. And then the trade that is in relation to this, which predates the, or not predate, prefaces the manager notes, is a trade between Reykjavik and Tenochtitlan, where Tenochtitlan picks up Berit Skovgard, the user Mare, and Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame, the user Valor X77, in exchange for Tenochtitlan's S22nd fourth round pick. So the manager notes here are from Tenochtitlan's manager.
The manager notes are here as follows. Baltimore sports fans unite. We look forward to welcoming Valor and Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame. Go Ravens, go O's, and let's have some fun.
And then at 66 overall, we have Reykjavik selecting from Sydney City, Brody James, the user Neon.
After scouting James and taking a look at some of their contributions across Discord and League Forum, we are excited to bring their attacking minded player into Reykjavik slash North Shore to pair them with Banana in attack. Is management from Reykjavik. after scouting Brody.
And that is the final selection of this season's draft. We have, let's see if I can pull up the draft overview here for the third round. Is there anything here that stands out to you? Summer?
Well, there has been, pretty interesting player names here. Looking forward to getting to know each and every one of you. Uh, but
There,
other than that, yes, as you rightly said, there has been an overload of midfield players here. As even in the third round, uh, barring the 36th pick, which has been a pass from PDT. This third round as well features, I mean, a lot of midfield players. Other than that, one goalkeeper,
and I'm
and then
noticing now that the summary, the pass for from row 34 should be the Joe Martin and Peter Apostle should move down each one row. It doesn't
okay,
fill out properly here the draft
right.
summary, so we're gonna be very rough here when it comes to the fourth round because there were a couple of more passes here. Um, see if it updates. Why isn't it updating? Hmm. Okay. I think the connection here between the between the Google Sheet and the software here has is broken. It doesn't really see, but we have Dave Oliver, Juan Rodriguez. There we go. We have the names of the four, but then they are supposed to be moved down from pick 39 and onwards here to pick 42. And yes, a lot of midfielders. I saw this issue when I was assigning players in the academy. A lot of you, I'm speaking now to the S21 draft class, played out of position just because of the fact that you can't really play a team with 11 midfielders. It doesn't provide the best results. But hopefully now when you're on your proper teams, you're able to play in the position that you want to play. Uh, and they uh, when you end up there in the start of next season.
So seeing that you were a part of this academy class, what were your thoughts on all the players that were drafted here today?
Oh, that's a tough question. I think it's always tough to have a deep class such as this, um, to know where everyone is going. I was a bit surprised that there were a lot of goalkeepers in the first round, but considering the users behind them, I mean, I understand why teams, why the organizations meant or made the picks as they did. Um, Midfield heavy, definitely a couple of picks there that I mean, I'm guessing that the organizations are happy with the users that, or I'm guessing I know that the organizations are happy with the users that they got, but definitely a lot of good users that were available at all of these picks. And to the fellow classmates of Petter here, um, don't be discouraged if you feel like you've fallen. I'm saying falling in quotation marks because the third and fourth round are still, I mean, high picks in terms of you're getting to an organization in their second or maybe third pick in this draft, which means that they did want you. Um, they have a need for you and are eager to get you playing for their organization.
I mean, Definitely agree with you there. I was a part of the last draft class, the season 20 prospect draft, and even I was drafted in the third round, the 29th pick.
Yeah,
And if you're drafted, even if you're drafted last or if you're drafted first, it means that the organizations that have drafted you, certainly felt that you would be a good part uh, of the locker room. And I certainly have been, I mean, people have been hyping me up in my locker room, certainly for this past 1 year. Sorry, my bad, for this past one season. And just enjoy your, I mean, enjoy your time playing here.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a very good sentiment to end this live draft show from the S21 SSL Prospect Draft. In terms of administrative information, you are going to be invited to all of your locker rooms as soon as the organizational manager or the manager group is able to. They are now able to do so after this live draft. We're going to start off the S21 or the season 21 tomorrow, Monday, with a new training camp coming up on the portal, new activity check, and all that entails. For the S21 draft class, today is the last day to finish out the academy tasks, if you haven't already done so. And today is also the last day to finish redistributions and re-rolls for the S19 and S20 classes, respectively. There is an off-season post that went up a couple of days ago that has all of this information as well. Tomorrow there will be a season state of the league small thing announcement that details a couple of the rule changes that have gone into effect and inviting you or announcing the start of the season. Preseason starts in about 2 weeks. No, not 2 weeks. A week and a half, let's say. And then we have the first match day, I believe, on Wednesday, not this coming week, but the week after. So exciting times ahead for sure. Any final words, Summerstood?
Well, just nothing much from me. Uh, just enjoy your time playing here in this simulation soccer league, and hopefully I'll get to catch you around in the SSL chat and the other sim leagues as well if you're part of it. So have a great day then.
Take care.